I was flying into Stockholm one evening and was looking out of my window here, and I was looking at the sunset, and it was an amazing flight, and it made me start thinking about everything that has happened during the week. And then as the clouds broke up, I could see that I could look down onto the ground, and I was looking at the cars going around and the traffic, and I could see lights there on the ground, and I was wondering, this is what it feels like when you're looking at a change program from 30,000 feet. Are you running a change program? Are you a leader of a team where you need to change something? Or perhaps you're even a change leader for a corporate project where you are leading a global change. And I was thinking about these types of situations and looking back, what is it that really makes a change possible? One of the changes that I went through was when I moved to Sweden. And of course, we created the idea of what it would be like living in Sweden with the snow and the skies and the sun in the summer, and it was amazing. And we compared it, of course, to where we were living at the moment, and it was rainy and it was gloomy, and of course we were imagining things for the future. We were calculating what it would really mean to do that moves, we're rationalizing the ideas, and then we started to think, well, how can we make this work for us? What if something happens? And we got into the mode of really wanting to change. When we did the change, we realized, wow, we had to learn a few things, and we were actually looking for support to make the whole change easier for us. And I remembered all these things, flying into Stockholm, looking over Lake Mälaren, seeing Västerås here on the far end, glistening in the sun. And I was thinking, well, what does that really mean for us? What does it mean for you when you're running a change project? The first thing that you'd want to look at is take a clear look at the home, where you're going. I've been in so many change projects where I've noticed that actually there is not a lot of time spent on creating that image of where it's going to be like in the future. Instead, many times it is spent a lot of time destroying the home where it is. Burn the ships, everybody says, and that will make people move. But in fact, what happens in that situation, people are going to fight and say, stop destroying my home, stop criticizing me. We've been working hard to decorate the rooms and paint the windows, even if it is old. We fixed the roof. We love our old home. If you're running a change project and you would like people to be inspired about the new home, don't start destroying the home that they're in. That's where they live. That's where I've been working. That is where their emotion is. Create a new home in a new place that is attractive, that is inspiring for everybody. Then they will go into the next phase of your change thought, and they will have their heads trying to rationalize what this really means, whether they can afford it. They're going to do calculations. What is it going to cost? Can we do it already this year, or do we have to save for money before we can do it next year? You see, whenever we emotionally decide that we want to move house, of course we're going to calculate, we're going to rationalize, we want to explain. That is where the reasons for the move actually come. That maybe the insulation for your house you're living in today is not good enough. You're going to pay extra in energy and heating. So it might be a good idea to move. But that is the second stage. You want to rationalize the decision. Then when you have rationalized the decision, you want to bring it back to the emotion again, because now you want to trigger the moment where you address the heart of the people so that they want to move. And bring them back to the emotions, what it's going to be like, what the new destination is going to feel like, so that they really feel inspired. You want to bring in everybody so that their hearts say, yes, we want to do this now, and the family is ready to pack and move. At that moment, we discovered we need, of course, lots of hands who really have to do something. It's not just good wishing that you are going to move. You have to get boxes, you have to start packing your stuff, and you might even have to throw away stuff that you don't want to take on that journey. But you really have to involve the hands to really put action into place. Otherwise, the move is not going to happen. It's just going to end up a wishful thinking of living in Sweden. So we did pack up. We did work hard. And we could see how the work was actually paying off. The boxes were piling in the hall, and the removal men was taking the boxes into the trucks, and in the end we unpacked it as well. It was a lot of work. Of course it is a lot of work. But if the heart is not there, if the rationalization is not there, and the desire to find a new home is not there, it doesn't really happen. But there's one more thing that I discovered that is needed. Because there are situations when things go wrong, aren't they? And if you're leading a change process, you would want to create a support structure so that when the people need help, because they get stuck, they actually can get help. Because moving to this new destination where nobody has been before, leaving behind everything that you're used to, you're going to discover that things are different. Things are a little unexpected. So who's going to help them? If they already know from the beginning that they will be left on their own and need to fix things, of course, they won't, their hearts won't start the whole journey altogether. So that is why be sure that you have a help organization in place, so that when your people need help, they can get help. Because these are the 5 elements that I have discovered that when I coach managers in a change program, this is what is going to help them to lead their team successfully through this journey of change. You want to communicate a positive home so that they see what it's going to be like in their heads. They need their heads to rationalize together with you that this is a good idea to do, and you have the money and the means to do it. You'd want to connect to the hearts so that everybody is really willing to take that step and put in the work that is needed with the hands to create that new home. But don't forget that there needs to be help on the way. These are the 5 elements that is going to get you safely to your next destination of your future.